Good morning and assalamu alaikum to all my dear students who are listening to me. I hope you all are well and fine. You are safe and sound. You are healthy. I warmly welcome you back to the class of science. In this class, we are about to continue our previous chapter which we started. So, let's start what kind of information we are going to learn today. Dear kids, we started a new chapter in our last class, and the name of the new chapter was Our Food and Health. The name of the new chapter was Our Food and Health. And it is our chapter number 5, and it is on page number 33 of your science book. Today we are going to study rest of the things from this chapter. So let's see what kind of information we are going to have today. Students, before we start today's lecture, let's see the things to learn from this chapter. So we can know that how many bullets we have learned and how many bullets are remaining to be learned. So we have learned about food, nutrients and its types, and we would learn about balanced diet, main groups of food, preservation of food, exercise and rest, diseases due to deficiency of nutrients, and types of diseases on the basis of their spread. And there are two types of the diseases on the basis of their spread, and these are communicable diseases and non-communicable diseases. In the last, we would learn about prevention and treatment of diseases. So let's continue from balanced diet, because we have learned about food and nutrients and its types. So today's lecture would be about balanced diet and some other topics. So dear students, here we are about to review our last lecture. So let's see what kind of things we have learned in our last lecture. Although we have learned many of the things in our last class, from which we would take only highlights, okay? So we had learned that a food is something that provides nutrients. Okay, we had learned many things about food, that it provides us energy, it helps us to grow, and many more. But the basic thing which we are going to write for food is, a food is something that provides nutrients. Then afterwards we had learnt about nutrients. Nutrients are the substances that provide energy for activity, growth, and all the functions of the body. Then we learned that proteins help our body make new cells and are present in pulses, eggs, and meat. We divided the nutrients into 5 main groups, okay, and these were proteins, carbohydrates, fats. After fats, we had learnt about vitamins and minerals. Okay, one more thing we can include in nutrients, that is water. Okay, so for proteins, we had learned that proteins help our body make new cells and are present in pulses, eggs, and meat. These are the sources of proteins, and what is the function? That they make new cells for our body, or they replace the damaged cells of our body. Then we learnt about carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are sugars and starches that give us quick energy. And they are present in fruits, vegetables, bread, and cereals. Afterwards, we learnt about the third type of nutrient, which is fats. Fats give us energy to store. When we learn about carbohydrates, we must remember one thing, that it gives us quick energy, and fats give us energy too. But this is the energy which can be stored. Okay, and they are present in ghee and butter. Afterwards, we learned about vitamins. Vitamins are required in a small quantity. Okay, vitamins are the nutrients which are required in a small quantity, but they are needed and they are really important and necessary for good health and growth. Minerals are required in small quantity like vitamins. Okay, minerals are the nutrients which are required in small quantity but are necessary to remain healthy. Okay, they are present in milk, fruits, vegetables. If when we're talking about vitamins, we learned that there can be many types of vitamins like vitamin A, vitamin B, vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin K, vitamin E, and many more. Okay, and they are present in different kinds of food. So kids, here comes some of the things which we are going to learn in today's lecture. So things to learn for today's lecture are: number 1, balanced diet. That what is balanced diet? Number 2, we would learn about main groups of food. Number 3, which we will learn, that is preservation of food. And the last would be exercise and rest. So let's get started with balanced diet. Before going towards the first bullet of today's lecture, which is balanced diet, do you know that there is something? What is this? That is water. Apart from proteins, carbohydrates, fats, vitamins and minerals, water is also a kind of nutrient. Besides the nutrients, our body needs water and roughage to remain healthy. Water allows the body to absorb and assimilate nutrients. Roughage is present in vegetables and fruits. It helps our body get rid of undigested food. Children who do not have enough proteins grow very slowly. They get sores on their skin, their stomach swells up. Okay students, let's come towards the first bullet of today's lecture, that is balanced diet. Before understanding this word balanced diet, have you ever heard someone saying that I am on diet? Yes, people usually say that they are on diet and we think that they are about to eat less. They are having food they are having less food. That doesn't mean diet. Diet is the word which we use to indicate the eating system. Okay, eating system. Now if we talk about the balanced diet, balance is the word that is showing not more and not less. Fine. So if we eat our food in balanced quantity, if we eat our food in balanced quantity, it means not more and not less. So that is indicating the balanced diet. On what basis we are saying that we are having balanced diet or not? Let's see. Actually, for good health, our diet should have all the nutrients that our body needs in right quantities. This is really important, in right quantities. It means not more, not less. For good health, our diet should have all the nutrients. What all the nutrients? All the nutrients are protein, carbohydrates, fats, vitamins and minerals. So our diet or our eating system or our food should have all the nutrients that our body needs in right quantities. Quantity should be right, not more, not less. Such a diet is called balanced diet. That diet is called balanced diet. Kids, so far we have learnt about the types of nutrients, right? Now here comes the turn of main groups of food. On the slide we are going to talk about main groups of food, right? We have divided our food into four main categories or groups, and these groups are meat and egg, fruits and vegetables, bread and cereals, and dairy food. Okay? Now these are the four main groups of food. Food are classified into four main groups. So on the left side you can see the main groups of food, and on the right side I have written that these foods are having what kind of nutrients in them, right? So if we talk about meat and egg, they are having proteins and fats in good amount or quantity. Whenever we talk about fruits and vegetables, we must know that there are a number of the types of fruits and vegetables. All are having different nutrients, but mostly vitamins, minerals and carbohydrates. Almost all the fruits and vegetables are enriched with vitamins, minerals and carbohydrates, right? Then we talk about bread and cereals. If we talk about bread and cereals, they have carbohydrates and minerals in good quantity, right? The word dairy indicates milk. What does it indicate? The word dairy indicates milk. So dairy food are the kind of foods which are derived from milk, right? Like yogurt, ghee and these kind of things. They are having proteins, fats and minerals in them. On the right side of your screen, I have pasted a picture in which you can see different kinds of food, right? Fruits and vegetables, milk and its alternative which include ghee, butter, yogurt and so on, meat and its alternatives like egg, okay, and grain products will include your bread, pulses and rice, okay. So these are the grains or cereals. So my dear kids, let's go towards the next bullet of our chapter, which is preservation of food. We preserve our food so it can have good taste for long time and be prevented from getting spoiled. So preservation of food, what do we do to preserve our food? Food can be stored for long period by many of the processes, from which number one is dehydration, canning, freezing, salting, and the last one is sweetening. We usually freeze our food so it can be stored for long period and it can have the good taste for long, right? And these other processes are carried out by different factories and industries. Okay, food industries use these kind of processes to we can say that to store the food for long period. Okay. And for prevention of food, we need preservatives. To prevent our food or preserve our food, we need preservatives. Now, what are these preservatives? These preservatives are mostly sugars and salts. So, we can say that salt and sugar are preservatives. They are preservatives and they prevent the food from getting spoiled. When they are mixed to the food, they make the food prevented or they prevent the food from getting spoiled. Now these are not the salts and sugars which we use in our kitchen. Okay, there are number of the salts and sugars. They are used by different industries and factories, mostly the food factories. Okay, they use salts and sugars in the food so their food can have the long life. So kids, we had learned many kind of things like food is necessary for life and food has nutrients. There are different types of nutrients and these are proteins, carbohydrates, fats, vitamins and minerals and water as well. Fine. Then we learnt about balanced diet and different groups of food. So there are four main groups of food. Then we had learned prevention of food, that how can we preserve our food, and we use preservatives to preserve our food. Now we are going towards another thing, but what do we have what do we what we have learned? We had learned about diet, but for spending a good life or living a good life, we do not need only diet, we need rest and exercise. Okay, like we need food, rest is important, and exercise is also really important. So let's start what we are going to learn afterwards. So kids, the thing which we are going to learn now is exercise. Exercise is a kind of physical activity that is really important to our body, and it has number of the advantages, from which some of the advantages will be in front of you. So number 1, it makes our muscles big and strong. It increases our stamina. It makes our joints work more smoothly. It helps our liver, heart, and lungs work better. And there are different type of exercise. We do not need gym only for the exercise. We can have exercise by number of the ways. Walking, jogging, cycling, and swimming are good exercises. Okay, so we can walk at our home, we can do jogging, cycling, and swimming. These are the good examples of exercise. But what would happen if we do not have exercise? The lack of exercise makes the muscles loose and flabby. It causes people to become overweight. It increases the chances of heart problems. Okay, the person who doesn't exercise and there is a lack of exercise in his life, that can make him his muscles loose and flabby. He can be overweight and he can have the chances for heart problems. So it means exercise is really important for one's life. Exercise is really important, okay, that's okay, we can understand it, but having proper rest is also really important, because the rest time is the foundation of performance. If we do not have proper rest time, our performance will be affected. So if we want to work in a good manner, we should have the proper rest. Sleep is a kind of activity which gives us rest. If we talk about other living organisms like animals like cat or dog, all the animals and human beings need rest to work properly. Okay? If they are having the good rest, so they can work better. So, what is the rest? Sleep provides us with rest. Body shuts down many systems during sleep. Okay, what does our body do? Our body shuts down many systems during sleep. Muscles relax and our breathing and heartbeat slow down. Having regular hours to sleep is good for our health as well. So kids, many kind of things we had learned today. I hope you have understood all of those things properly. What you have to do? You have to read your chapter. You have to read your page number 33 and 34 very properly, plus 35, okay? 34, 35. You have to read these pages really carefully and underline the important lines. Okay, and still if you are having any question, you can ask me through Google Classroom. So thank you so much. Have a good day. Inshallah we shall meet with the next lecture. Allah Hafiz.